Is Macklemore related to the big bad wolf?
Hello YouTube viewers, this is Kuya06 from TeenTech, and today we have a review of a very cool phone. This is the Nokia Lumia 1020. It was released last Friday. I picked it up on Saturday and have had a few days to play around with it, and I'm going to say that it is a very nice phone for you camera geeks. Now, when you open the box, you can see that there is the phone on top. We'll get to that in a minute. And then, underneath your camera, you have the usual papers. As for papers, this time you get a quick start guide, a brochure to learn how to take great photos from Nokia Camera Specialist. It is NFC, so you just take that, tap that to the back of your phone. The brochure that says the sound of that when you shake this phone, there is a rattling sound around the camera area. That is because there are ball bearings in the back of the camera that hold the camera still. There's another brochure for a free 20 by 30 poster. And then last but not least, there is the product and safety information. Now, as for physical goodies, we get a wall adapter, Nokia micro USB charger, a wrist strap that you can see over here for holding your phone onto your hand, and then a SIM card door key. Now, moving all that aside, this is the Nokia Lumia 1020. As for the camera on the back, which you can see, this giant black thing, we are looking at a 41 megapixel camera with a xenon flash and a LED focusing light. The camera does add a substantial bump, but while holding it, it is still very easy to hold. As for screen, we have a 4.5 inch AMOLED screen. It is 1280 by 768. The display features are Pure Motion HD Plus, brightness control, high brightness control mode, refresh rate of 60 Hertz, which is very nice because it adds to the fluid use of the device. Sculpted glass, and it is glass that is very easy to clean, and I've tested that. It is very nice. Nokia glance screen, which is this with the just showing the time. Lumia color profile wide viewing angle, which is very true. Corning Gorilla Glass 3, which is an upgrade of Gorilla Glass 2 from the Nokia Lumia 920, and some light readability enhancements, which is called by Nokia to be clear black. Now, the aspect ratio is 15:9, and the pixel density is 334 ppi. Now, as for display technologies, this has the clear black screen, like I said, which makes it very easy to read in sunlight. And it is AMOLED, which does not take that much toll on the battery, which is very nice. As for sensors, you get a ambient light sensor, accelerometer, barometer, gyroscope, proximity sensor, and magnetometer. Now, as for the SIM card type, this uses a micro SIM, and it does use micro USB to charge. As for wireless charging, sadly this phone does not have wireless charging, but that was made to keep the cost down. You can get an accessory that you snap on the back and it goes around the camera, and that adds wireless charging. Now, as for Bluetooth, you get Bluetooth 3.0, and you do get NFC. As for storage, there is 2 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of onboard storage, and 7 gigabytes of cloud storage, as with all Windows phones. As for physical dimensions, the height from the bottom to here is 130.4 millimeters. As for width, it's 71.4. Thickness is 10.4 millimeters. Weight is 158 grams, which is, for a Nokia high-end phone is pretty light. As for total volume is 96.9 centimeters cubed. As for connectivity, you do get LTE with the LTE network bands of 1, 3, 7, 8, and 20. The WCDMA network waves are 900 megahertz, 2100 megahertz, 1900 megahertz, and 850 megahertz. As for GSM, you do get 850 megahertz, 900 megahertz, 1800 megahertz, and 1900 megahertz. Now, as for the battery, you get a 2000 milliamp battery, which does last for about 2 days for me. I can get it to 2 days very easily. As for software, it does have Windows Phone 8. If you look, it is very fluid because of that PureMotion HD Plus screen and the use of 60 Hz refresh rate. As for camera software, there is the Nokia Program, which is Nokia's special software for taking pictures. I like this software a lot because if you want to change something, it just uses a dial, and you can switch between camera and video. And then it shows you the last picture you took and your camera roll. Now, moving on to the where to buy. You can buy this phone from AT&T, a Microsoft store, or Amazon. The price is $300 on contract, $700 off contract, or $33 a month through AT&T Next. In the box, like I said, you get phone, charger, wall adapter, SIM key, and a lanyard. The lanyard goes right here. I'll get to that in a second. My first impressions was it's very nice to hold, it looks good, and it feels good. It's very fluid, and overall I say this is a very nice phone. Now moving on to physical looks. On the front you have this screen, AT&T logo, Nokia logo, and front-facing camera. You also have the 3 buttons that go with every Windows phone: back, home, and search. On the right side you have volume rocker, power, and 2-stage camera button. On the bottom you have a speaker, micro USB port, and this is where your lanyard goes in. On the left it is completely smooth, which I like, and on the top you have SIM card, headset port, and audio microphone. On the back you have this humongous camera. This is the actual camera. As for xenon flash and LED. Right here is where the pins from the wireless charging go. As you can see, I got it in yellow. It does also come in white and black. All of them are matte. Now, as for size, comparing this to an SD card, this is the size compared to an SD card, compared to a GameStop gift card, and compared to the Nokia Lumia 520. As for the build quality, I gave this a 6 out of 7 because it feels sturdy and it has a good heft to it. Price worthiness, I gave it 2 out of 3 because it's expensive for a phone, but it is cheap for a very nice camera. As for software, I gave it 6 out of 7 because it's fluid and nice to use, has that Nokia Pro camera, but it does have some limitations with apps. Specifications, I gave it 4 out of 5 because it has a good amount of RAM and storage, but it does have an older processor. One bonus for that is 41 megapixel camera. Now, in the box, I gave it a 2 out of 3 because it comes with the essentials plus the wrist strap, but it does not come with no headphones. You guys may not think that those are needed, but I do think that having those is very useful. Overall, I gave it a 4 out of 5 because it's a very nice phone with an amazing camera, but the high price and camera bump make it less appealing to some consumers. As for bonus points, I gave it 2 bonus points because it's 41 megapixels camera, and it does come with a choice of yellow, which is very unusual for most phones on the market, but I like it. The total score was 26 out of 30, which is a B+. What should you expect when you buy this? Well, you should expect a camera with phone capabilities and features. While the price is a little off-putting, people obsessed with taking pictures will love this phone. Thanks guys, this has been a review of the Nokia Lumia 1020. I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, please comment and subscribe. See you later.
This microphone is delicious.